Hi, thanks for joining today. This is Melanie from Yoga Within. We're here for our beginner Ashtanga class. So, traditionally, Ashtanga is not taught with props, but I always suggest you do use the props if you need them. So you may want to have a strap or a scarf or something like that, a wooden block or some books, and perhaps a foam block, or even a towel or a blanket that you can roll to sit on. With all that said, let's get started. So find a nice, comfortable seated position. Eyes open or eyes closed. Just rest your hands in your lap. Take a long, deep breath in and lengthen your spine. And exhale gently. Let the lips close and begin to find the Ujjayi breath. Breathing lightly in and out through the nose with the mouth closed. The Ujjayi breath warms the body up safely from the inside out, and you're in control of how warm you get just based on your breath. The mind just follows the rhythm of the breath. The chin can drop down towards the hollow of the throat. Thinking about Mula Bandha, that root lock at the base of the spine, a very light lift of the pelvic floor. Uddiyana Bandha, a couple of fingers below the navel. Lightly drawing the belly in towards the spine, but ever so slightly. And with the chin drop down, Jalandhara Bandha, the chin lock, where you lengthen the neck and stimulate into the throat chakra and the thyroid. Take a couple more breaths here. Now lift your head up, stretch your legs out, bounce into your knees, and bring yourself up to the very front of your mat into Samastiti or Tadasana. Seal the hands in Anjali Mudra, palm to palm and heart center. Your drishti is your point of gaze. As we begin, your drishti is straight ahead down the tip of the nose. Begin to find your Ujjayi breath, remembering that it really is the most important part of the practice. Bring the hands down to the sides. Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the gaze, soften the shoulders. Exhale, fold the body forward. If you can't fold all the way, just go part way. Inhale, come up to a flat back. Exhale, bend the knees enough, place the hands on the floor beside the feet, step back to plank. If it's a day where the knees should be down, lower the knees and lower through chaturanga, elbows close to the body. Tops of the feet to the floor. Inhale, upward dog. Roll over the toes. Exhale, downward dog. The beauty of Ashtanga is we're given 5 or more breaths just to notice where we are in the practice. Notice how our body feels. Notice how or where we are within our own bodies. The mind follows the rhythm of the breath, and the entire practice becomes like a moving meditation. The hips move up and back. The eyes are open throughout the practice. As you inhale, bring your gaze and your feet back to your hands. So take as many steps as you need to get there. You're in this partial fold. Now exhale, fully fold. Inhale, come all the way up, softening the shoulders, looking up. Exhale, Samastiti. Same thing again. Inhale, lift the arms and gaze. If shoulders are sore, don't lift the arms as high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come to a flat back. Make sure your knees are not blocked. Exhale, place the hands beside the feet, step back to plank. Lower the knees if you feel it's better for you. Bend the elbows, keep them tucked close to the side body. Tops of the feet on the floor. Hold the torso through the hands as you move to upward dog. Chest opens. Tuck the toes, send the hips up and back, downward dog. Long, full, deep breaths. Eyes are open. If at any point you feel you need to pause, you bring the knees to the ground, stack your fists, and rest your head on the fists, pausing in child's pose. But remember what we said about the breath being the important part of the practice. Don't stop the Ujjayi breath. Maintain the heat in the body and the peace in the mind. Inhale, bring your gaze and your feet back to the hands in that partial half fold. Exhale, fully fold. Inhale, come all the way up, and if it's safer to walk the hands up the legs, that's what you should do. Exhale, Samasthiti. Last time. Inhale, arms and gaze. If it hurts to look up, look straight ahead. Exhale, fold forward. Remember, if you're dizzy, only go part way. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step back. Don't hang your heads, I'm watching you. And lower through Chaturanga. Don't hang those heads. Inhale, upward dog. Move the body through the arms. Exhale, downward dog. Long, full breaths. If you're feeling pain at all in the back or the hamstrings, try moving the feet wider apart, sending those hips up and back. Let the shoulders open. Let the mind follow the rhythm of the breath, allowing the entire practice to become like a moving meditation. Inhale, gaze and feet to the hands in that partial fold. Exhale, fully fold. Inhale, come all the way up, keeping the shoulders soft. Exhale, Samasthiti. Surya Namaskara B. Knees bend. Now the knees and feet are either side by side touching or they are parallel, equal distance between the knees and feet. Arms come up unless the shoulders hurt. Exhale, fold your body forward. Inhale, lift the hips, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step back through plank, lower down, Chaturanga. Inhale, torso moves through the arms, upward dog, thighs down or up, what's best for you. Exhale, send the hips up and back, downward dog. Left foot pivots, right foot comes forward between the hands. And if it's better for you to just stand up to find your way here, that's perfect. Exhale, bring yourself back down, back, left knee can go down, right knee can go down, lower down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Now right foot pivots and left foot comes forward. Left hip back, right thigh forward, shoulders down, gaze up. Exhale as you come down, watch those heads hanging, breathing. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Remember your options. Try adjusting the legs. If it's shoulders, move the arms wider apart. If all the weight of the body is going forward, you need to bend the knees to send the hips up and back more. The eyes are open, thinking lightly Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Listening to how your body feels. Try to work from the inside out. Letting go of that attachment to what it should look like. Inhale, bring your gaze and your feet back to your hands in that partial fold. Exhale, fully fold. Bend the knees. Inhale, arms and gaze. If shoulders hurt, keep your arms at shoulder height or hands to hips. Exhale, Samasthiti. Again, knees bend. Inhale, arms and gaze. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step back, lower through Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Left foot pivots, right foot comes forward. Weight is even on the feet. If it's better for the shoulders, keep your hands on your hips. Front hip back, back thigh forward. Exhale, coming all the way back down through Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Long, full, deep breaths. Let the mind follow the rhythm of the breath, not allowing your body to move into pain. Inhale, gaze and feet back to hands. Exhale, fold, knees bend. Inhale, arms and gaze. Exhale, Samasthiti. Last time, you're doing great. Knees bend, inhale, arms and gaze. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step back, lower through Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward. Left foot pivots, right comes forward. Breathing in, squaring up the hips. Breathing out as you come all the way back down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Right pivots left forward. Square up those hips. Keep the shoulders soft. Exhale, coming back down. Chaturanga. Upward dog, breathing in. Downward dog, breathing out. Hopefully by now you have a sense of how you're feeling today. Always remember that sometimes the hardest part of this practice is knowing when to back off. Our tendencies are to push forward until we're exhausted or injured. The idea in any yoga practice is to be doing this forever. So be kind to yourself. Inhale, gaze and feet to hands. Exhale, fold, knees bend. Inhale, arms and gaze. Exhale, Samasthiti. Padangusthasana. Move the feet about hip width apart. Bend the knees, place the elbows on the thighs. Stay here if you're dizzy at all or blood pressure issues. Otherwise, pointer and middle fingers under the big toes. Thumb touches. Elbows bend. Again, stay here if that's enough. Otherwise, drop the head and lift the hips. Padangusthasana. You can walk it out as you would with downward dog. Keep the breath, the elbows bend to open the upper back, lifting the arches of the feet, following the rhythm of the breath. Padahastasana, hand to foot. Bend the knees, straighten the arms. Stay here if that's enough. Otherwise, lift the feet, slide the palms under the feet so the fingers point to the heels. The elbows bend. If that's enough, stay there. Otherwise, drop the head and begin to straighten the legs. Breath is present. Eyes are open. Elbows bend to open the upper back. There's many, many nerve endings in the soles of our feet and in the palms of our hand. Find them, feel them. Bend the knees, straighten the arms, face parallel to the floor. Place the hands on the hips. Come all the way up. Exhale, step back to the front of the mat into Samasthiti. This is your time just to pause, check in, see how you're feeling. Step out wide to the right, Uttita Trikonasana, turn your right foot out, turn your left foot in or keep it at 90 degrees. Open the arms parallel to the floor and extend over the right leg. Lower the right arm down, either place the left hand on the left hip or extend the fingers up to the ceiling. If you feel that you would have more stability by resting your hands on a block or a book, do that. Make sure that right leg has a bit of softness. Draw the legs towards each other, open the shoulders, connect top and bottom half right here at the core. Breathing, breathing. As you come up, if you're using a prop, pick it up. Inhale, come up. Exhale, turn your feet left out, right in. Same options, hand to hip or in the low back, or extend that right arm up. Make sure the legs aren't locked. Your drishti, your gaze can be up, straight ahead, or down to that left big toe, depending on what feels best for you. Keep in mind, this is not a side bend. You're trying to lengthen top and bottom half of the body equally. Use your legs. Inhale, bring yourself all the way up. Parivrtta Trikonasana is the rotation. So your right foot turns forward, your left foot turns to a slight angle, and your hips are pointing straight ahead. You fold halfway forward, drawing that right hip back. You can take the block or the book and place it, or your hand, and place it at the outside of the right foot. Left hand goes to the prop. Right hand can rest in the low back sacrum area. It can go straight out to the side from the right shoulder with the palm facing the floor, or the fingers can point up to the ceiling. The legs are strong and active. The breath is present. The breath is telling you your story. Be mindful of what your story is today. Inhale, bring yourself back up to standing. Exhale, turn your feet. Left foot points forward, right foot turns in, hips square. Fold halfway forward. Right hand to the outside of the left. Left hip draws back, Imagine that you're holding a block between your inner upper thighs. Your torso rotates around the spine. And if you're better off not to even go that far forward, just rest the hand at the outside of the leg and be aware of the twist itself. Inhale, come up. Exhale, step back to the front of the mat into Samasthiti. If you're using a prop, hold it in the right hand. Uttita Parsvaskanasana, step out wide to the right. Turn the right foot out, left foot at 90 or in. Bend the right knee. Hips are as even as you can get them. You can rest the right elbow on the right thigh. You can place the block or the book at the inside of the foot or the outside of the foot. This left hand can rest on the left hip or in the low back. Try not to have that left hip sticking up in the air. Think groin drops, pelvic floor lifts, and if you're better to be upright, do that. If you are able to bring that left arm up, keeping the arm in line with the ear, do that. Keep breathing. Draw the legs towards each other, lift the pelvic floor lightly. Good, breathing. You can take the weight off that left elbow and check out, is it your legs holding you there? Keep your breath. Inhale, come up. Same thing, other side. That's the beauty of Ashtanga. We do one side, we do the other. Left knee bends, straight line of energy from that left heel all the way up through the crown of the head. Torso rotates around the spine. Breath is present. Shoulders drop out of the ears. I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out, connecting top and bottom half here at the core. The drishti is up to the hand, straight ahead, or down to the big toe. What feels better for you? There's that tendency to swing that hip up. Try to get those hips even if possible. One more breath in, one more breath out. Inhale, come all the way up. You can pick that prop up. And exhale, pivot your feet. So the right foot turns forward, the left foot turns slightly in. This is also a Parivritas or Raval position. You're drawing right hip back, left hip forward, pressing down into the front foot, so widen that stance if you need to. This left knee, it can come down to the floor if that's better for you. You're twisting over the right thigh. You may put your elbow or your shoulder at the outside of that knee and bring your palms together. The right elbow points to the ceiling. Your gaze is to the side, up to the elbow, or down to the floor. You can always press through that left heel if that rotates your torso around your spine more. Inhale, come back up to standing, and exhale once more, turn your feet. Same thing other side. So foundation is feet. Set the feet, then center the hips. If you can center the hips, reposition the feet. Good. Right knee can come down. For some of us, it might be enough of a twist to take the right hand to the outside of the knee, place the left hand on the sacrum, and rotate here. If you are able to bring the elbow to the outside of the knee or the shoulder, do that. Bring the palms together. You might want to tuck the right toes and press back through the right heel. Keep breathing. Keep the neck strong. Know why you have your head where you have it. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, come up. Exhale, step back to the front of the mat. Samasthiti. Prasarita Padottanasana A. Step out wide to the right. Place your hands on the hips. Bend the knees, place the elbows on the thighs. The outside edges of your feet are parallel. If this is enough, don't go any farther than this, especially if you feel dizzy at all. Otherwise, place the hands on the floor. You can use a block if that's better for you. And start sliding the hands back, bending the elbows to right angles. If you're able to drop the head, drop the head. If you're able to begin to straighten the legs, start to straighten the legs.
And keep in mind, what is straight for me is going to be much different than what is straight for you. Breathing in, breathing out, a retraction, a bending of the knees, and a straightening of the legs will actually show you where your feet need to be. Now, soften the knees, straighten the arms, send the hips up and back, place the hands on the hips and come up, or bend the knees, put the palms on the thighs and come up that way. Release the arms. Arms lift shoulder height, hands come back to the hips. Lengthen the spine, bend from the hip creases, come halfway forward. If that's enough, stay there. Reset your foundation, so check in with your feet. Where do they need to be? Maybe farther apart. Then start to lower the head and begin to straighten the legs without locking them. Now, if your head easily comes to the floor, you want to start moving your feet closer together, shorten your stance. Keep breathing. A retraction and bending of the knees and the straightening of the legs will allow you to go deeper in time. Listen to the cues from your body. You are your own best teacher. Now either inhale, come all the way up, or bend the knees, put the palms on the thighs, and walk yourself up. Release the arms. Lift the arms, interlace the hands behind your back, extending the arms, chest expander. If your shoulders are tight, you will find many more benefits by using a strap so you can squeeze your shoulder blades and open the shoulders more. Then bend the knees, send the hips back, face parallel to the floor. If this is enough, stay there, squeeze those shoulder blades. If you're able to drop the head and begin to straighten the legs, do that, understanding that you may need to move the legs farther apart or closer together. It is called chest expander because it opens the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades lightly, keep the neck long. Those of you trusting your chins, release them. Notice the arches of your feet lifting. Now either come all the way up or bend the knees, place the palms on the thighs, and help yourself up. If you are still in chest expander, pause, and then release the hands to the hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold the body halfway forward, so you may need to reposition your feet. Pointer and middle fingers under the big toes, elbows bend. So if you are on your back, you would be in happy baby here. Reposition your feet if you need to. If you're able to drop the head and begin to straighten the legs, do that. Your elbows are bent. Your breath is present. Keep breathing. As you inhale, straighten the arms, lift the hips, lengthen the spine. Exhale, place the hands on the hips or bend the knees, put the palms on the thighs. Reset back at the front of the mat in Samasthiti. Take your hands behind your back and touch the palms together. If that doesn't work, hold your elbows or go knuckle to knuckle. Now take your right foot, step it out to the right, point it straight ahead, and take your left foot, turn it in at a slight angle. Point both hips straight ahead, put a micro bend in the front knee and bend halfway forward. Knowing that if this is enough, this is perfect. Just keep your neck in line with the spine. There may be some of you who need 1 or 2 blocks to use to place your hands on. Some of you may be able to go farther forward, taking the ribs to the thighs, keeping in mind this is a forward fold. You want the hips to be even, and sometimes even placing the hands on that low back area can help. Now, inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, turn your feet. Breathe in, breathe out, halfway forward, all the way forward. Do the work through the legs. Eyes are open, breath is present, front hip back, back thigh forward, unclench your teeth and unclench your toes. Notice if your shoulders are even, try to let those necks be free. Now inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, step back to the front of the mat and reset in Samasthiti.
Moving into balance, so if you need the walls or if you need straps, make sure you use them. Weight goes to the left foot, lift the right leg. Now, if holding the back of the thigh is what's best for you, do that. It is a forward fold, fold forward. Some of you may get the calves, some of you the ankles, some of you the foot. Use your breathing. Neck is long. This left hand can be on the left hip or down the left thigh. Inhale, come up. Hip moves in its socket, so take it out to the side. Head turns the opposite way. If it's not a day for balance to look the opposite way, keep your drishti straight ahead. Keep breathing, keep breathing. Good, bring it back to the center. Fold forward. So it is a forward fold. You may find that you can use the support of the arm and straighten the leg, retract it and straighten it. Try to keep the hips even. Bring yourself all the way back up. Extend the leg and point the toes. Now you may have your leg way up in the air, but be leaning back with the hips uneven. Try to drop the hips, square the hips, point the toes. The breath is present. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Flex and release. Walk it out. And switch sides. Remember, you can always keep the toes on the floor if that's your day for balance. Lift the foot if you can. Fold forward. However you can fold forward. Try to let go of that attachment that you have to hold the leg. The idea is it is a forward fold. You're trying to keep the weight evenly balanced from hip to hip, shoulders moving down. Use both feet, even though one's in the air and one's not. Inhale, come up, move the hip in the socket, take the leg out to the side. Look the other way if it's a good day for looking the other way. Notice, are you thrusting that right hip out, or can you rise right up from the arch of the foot? Are the hips even? Are the shoulders even? Be strong. Building both strength and ease in the body and the mind. Bring yourself back to the center. Fold forward, hold the leg, extend the leg, back up. Hands to hips to notice, are my hips even? Extend the leg, point the toes, breathe. Your mind will say, I can't do it, but you can. I know you can. Just retract and then straighten. Give the quad a bit of a break. Flex and release, walk it out. Bring yourself back to the front of the mat and reset with a vinyasa. Keeping in mind, vinyasa means connecting movement with breath. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the gaze. Exhale, fold the body as far forward as you can and move the feet apart if you need to. Inhale, lift the hips, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hands down, step back, plank. Knees can lower down, lower through chaturanga. Tops of the feet to the floor. It's as though you're pulling the body through the arms. Open the front body. Exhale, downward dog. Breathing, hips up and back. Bring your feet back to your hands. Bend the knees. So you may need the knees farther and feet farther apart for back and hamstrings. Palms to thighs. You can stay here for Utkatasana. You can place the hands on the hips. You can extend the arms forward at shoulder height with the pinky fingers turned slightly up. Or you can bring the arms all the way up in the air, softening the shoulders. Make sure your neck is long. If you were to take your hands to your neck, you'd want to ensure that it's smooth, that there's no creases or crinkles in the neck. Breathing in, breathing out. Exhale, fold the body all the way or halfway forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen the hips. Exhale, step back, put the knees down if that's more of a benefit to shoulders and wrists. Lower through. Upward dog. Move the torso through the arms. Move the body through the arms. Exhale, downward dog. Virabhadrasana, air warrior one. Left foot pivots. Right foot comes forward between the hands, bending the right knee. Now, if it's better for you to simply stand up and move your feet to this position, that's what you should do. It's right hip back, left thigh forward, shoulders point straight ahead. Breath is present. Hands can be on hips. Arms can be shoulder height. Arms can be all the way up. But know why you have your body as you have it. Don't do something because somebody tells you what to do. Shoulders draw down. Breath is present. Neck is long. Front hip back, so right hip back, left thigh forward. Weight is at pinky toe, big toe, and the center of the heel. You're breathing. The arches of the feet are lifting. Remember, you're a strong warrior. Now straighten the front leg, bring the hands to the hips, and turn your feet. So left foot comes out, right comes in, hips point straight ahead. If you place your hands on your hips, you get a good sense of, am I even through this core of the body? Remember to reset the center of the body, reset from the foundation, in this case, the feet up. Do what you need to do with your arms. It may be different on this side than the other side. Try not to lift the arms by thrusting the ribs and moving to a back bend. Keep your body strong. Remember, yoga means union. So union in the breath, in the body, in the mind. Now bring the hands to the hips. Shift your feet slightly, so you may need to wiggle that left foot in. Turn so the hips are pointing forward between the legs. The left knee is bent, left knee above heel. Right foot can be at 90 or slightly turned in. Make sure both legs are not locked. Open the arms parallel to the floor if the shoulders don't hurt. Try not to hang out in flexibility. So if the bottom's sticking out, readjust at the core of the body. Your gaze is to the left. Breathing, it's as though the legs draw together, the shoulders drop down. Now straighten the left leg, turn the toes in, turn the right foot out, turn the head to the right. Breathe here. Unclench the toes, lift the arches of the feet. Gentle lift of the pelvic floor, not sticking the bottoms out. Stay connected, keep the natural curve of your spine. Now, as you transition to plank pose for chaturanga, you can always bring your hands to the hips, put the left knee down, put the hands down, and then bring the right knee down and lower through to the belly, lifting to upward dog. You can also remember, do a baby cobra. Exhale, downward dog or child's pose. It's really always up to you. Now we're coming to the seated portion of the practice. So you sit down, stretch your legs out. This may be where you need a blanket or a rolled up towel or the foam block. Whatever you're using, you sit on it. Try not to just perch on it. Roll forward. So you've lifted the hips. Now you're tilting the pelvis forward like you're pouring out a bowl of water. You may find that the knees need to be slightly bent, especially if the hamstrings or back are bothering you or are tight. The sternum lifts, chin drops down, so you're lengthening the neck, and the hands press lightly into the ground. Big toe mound, little toe mound press away. Other 6 toes draw towards you. Breathing in and breathing out with a gentle ujjayi breath, not forcing the breath. Let it tell you your story. Now inhale, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, you're moving into Paschimottanasana, a seated forward fold. So you may need to grab your glutes and draw them slightly out. If you're curling forward at the bottom of your rib cage, you are much better to use the prop, bend the knees, lift the hips, and tilt the pelvis towards the thighs. You can use the straps if you have them, or scarves, whatever you have. Draw the shoulders back and down. For some of you, you will be able to begin straightening the legs to what is straight for you. Hold the legs or feet where it's most benefit to your shoulders. Your neck is in line with the spine. You roll your eyeballs in their sockets towards the big toe, so that doesn't mean crank the neck. Now you inhale, come part way up, and this should be a lot of work. The hips, the glutes press back, the chest lifts, the shoulders drop. You will either repeat exactly the same thing, where you grab the outsides of your feet, press the thumbs below the big toes, bend the elbows, and hold. Now, you may be able to do it with the knees bent. The elbows bent, remember, open the upper back. You're trying to strengthen the neck, not just let it hang there. Open, breathe. Don't be afraid of a little bit of movement. The movement allows you to find out, where should I be in this pose today? Now inhale, lengthen the spine, lift the chest, soften the shoulders down the back. Exhale, release. You are either going to cross the ankles and spark and lift, or the option is a vinyasa. The vinyasas are to come back into a plank position, knees up or down, lower through chaturanga. Tops of the feet to the floor, lift, pull through to upward dog, pull back to downward dog, coming back to a seated position. There are many, many, many vinyasas in Ashtanga. It is not beneficial to be doing them if they're causing you pain in your body. So simply place your hands, well, it's not simple, it's actually hard. Place your hands down, keep your spine long, pull your hips back and up, and lower down. We call that sparking. It sparks those internal organs, the core of the body. Good. Parsvattanasana. You lean way back, place the hands on the floor, bend the elbows, bend the knees, either have the heels below the knees, lifting up to here, this reverse tabletop position, or for some of you, legs are farther out, knees are bent, heels on the ground. You start lifting the hips, you press through to the tops of the feet and lengthen. Do not drop your head back if your hips are not up. Know why you're doing what you're doing. It's very easy in Ashtanga to practice in a place of ego, which often leads to injury. Bring yourself down, try to alternate how you cross your legs. Cross, pull the body up, build that core strength. Good breathing. Moving to Jana Shirshasana A. The left leg is straight and the right foot comes against the left inner thigh, or you move the foot out and roll the top of the foot up. Left hip draws back, body folds forward. Use your breathing. Remember your options in the forward folds. If it is better to get a deeper forward fold by bending the knees and working in time towards pressing that left heel forward and drawing the left hip back, that's what you should do. Use your feet equally. Remember, the foundation is no longer the feet, but it's still important to use them. Now, as you come up, if your hands are on the floor, pull the torso forward, press the hips back. Exhale, left leg is straight, so draw it in and spark, and switch sides. Right leg straight, left foot in, drawing that right hip back. You can always use the straps if that's better for you. You can always use a prop under the left knee if you need. Know why you do what you do. Know why you hold your foot as you do, or why you place your hands as you do. And if you really don't feel your body working with effort, you have the ability to change that. Just as if you feel your body overworking and yourself moving into pain, a good question to ask yourself is, why do I continue to move through this pain? And that question will transfer off your mat into your daily life. Now, lengthen the spine. This should be as much work as coming down. Exhale, spark. Good. Jana Shirshasana C, left leg is straight. Right foot comes up. You take the right hand and pull the right toes back. You can use the elbow against the shin, and this can be your variation. Another variation is bending the left knee, resting the right ankle on that left knee, moving into a slight forward fold. Full variation is to have the right toes down, the right heel up, the right knee on the ground. Spine long, folding forward. Breath is present. Know why you're doing what you're doing. Remember, the idea is to work the feet because the toes are tucked. You're opening up into the hips, lengthening the spine, opening the upper back. Inhale, come up. Spark. Pull back, don't just press up. Right leg straight, left knee bends, grab the toes, work those feet. Your feet, you need them for your balance as you age. Remember the importance of keeping them mobile and flexible. Bend that right knee. This might show you that you need this stretch through the glutes. Or where do you need it? Or left toes down, left heel up, rolling forward. Keep in mind the right hip draws back. The left knee is open at about 85 to 90 degrees. Remember, we get a posture and we think, yeah, I got this. And then somebody says, but try this. So remember, there is no destination. This is a journey. That's why we call it a practice. It's never the same. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release, right leg straight, draw through. Moving to Marichyasana A. Left leg is straight, right knee bends. And again, it's a forward fold. So if you bend this right knee and you're feeling yourself go back, why wouldn't you sit up on something to lift the hips and tilt the pelvis? The right shoulder comes to the inside of the right knee, which means you'll probably need to move the right foot to the right to even out through the hips. Now your glutes may not have the weight even, but you try to keep the weight as even and balanced as you can on everything on the ground. So shift the weight to the right if you feel it all in the left. You may stay with palm to palm, using the arm against the shin, using the shoulders to move apart. Or you may find that putting a strap in the right hand, bringing it around the right leg and reaching around with the left hand to grab the strap is what you need. Now, because it's a forward fold, you might get a deeper forward fold by bending that left knee. Currently, my right shoulder's going forward, so I know I'm in more of a twist. Marichyasana A is a forward fold, not a twist. So where do you need everything to be to open the shoulders and open the hips, moving into this forward fold? Keep your breath. Now, inhale, come up. It should be as much work as going down. Notice where you feel it. Use your legs. Exhale, release. Spark or vinyasa if that's what you like. Now, right leg is straight. Left knee bends. As I bring the shoulder to the inside, I move to a twist. Not intentionally, but I do. So now I need to use this left side to adjust this left foot. So now I feel, all right, my hips are relatively even. What do I need to do to get my shoulders pointing straight ahead, as though I had a mirror in front of me? My shoulders would be level. Now I can either stay here with my palms together in prayer, or I can bring the left arm around and the right hand behind, either grabbing at the hands or using a strap. You know what you need. Now it's left shoulder back, right shoulder forward and down till the shoulders are even. You press right toe mound forward, but you draw right hip back. Keep breathing. Neck is in line with the spine. Now inhale, come up. Think when you come up, can you keep the hips and shoulders even? Exhale, release. Spark. Add the vinyasas if you want. Now we're moving to Marichyasana C, which is a twist. The left leg is straight and the right knee bends. Important in this particular twist, and keep in mind that all twists are different, you want your hips, the weight even on both glutes, and your hips to remain pointing straight ahead. So if you're leaning back, take the right foot, move it farther forward. Take your left hand or elbow to the outside of the right knee. Take your right arm and extend it straight out from the right shoulder. And notice, are you leaning back, just, taking a break? Maybe you're having some coffee and that's okay. Or can you use this hand just for a little bit of support? Are the shoulders even? Is the neck in line with the spine? And then are you able to turn the head last? Now each breath in lengthens, perhaps the spine, perhaps between the shoulders, perhaps between your thoughts. As you exhale, you create a bit of depth. So perhaps you squeeze a little bit more air out of the lower abdominals, massaging it into the internal organs. Perhaps you release stress in the shoulders. Perhaps you release some stress in the mind. Breathe in, return all the way back to the center. Drop the right knee, cross left in front, draw through. And switch sides. Right leg is straight, left knee is bent. Check out your foundation. Readjust your feet to reset the foundation. Opposite hand, so right to left. Sitting up nice and tall, drawing the right elbow to the outside of the left knee, moving torso around spine. Breath is present, breath is strong, shoulders move down the back. Look out of the corners of the eyes. Twists are posture improving exercises. They massage the spine, they massage the internal organs. Know why you're doing what you're doing. They do heat you up from the inside out. Back to the center, cross, lift. If you would like to vinyasa, move through a vinyasa. And then vinyasa can be come to the hands and knees, lower down to the belly. Don't do chaturanga, do a baby cobra. Press up onto the hands and knees. Maybe you leave out downward dog and you stretch it out in child's pose. Keep breathing, and then you come back to a seated position. Vinyasas can be modified, and modify them if they allow you to build more strength, because you want to be doing this till you're 900 years old. Now in Navasana, if you are sitting on a block, slide it out. If you have tailbone or low back problem, perhaps a light blanket. Bend the knees, place the hands at the backs of the thighs. Have your knees and feet parallel distance apart. They can be together. You lift the toes, then lift one heel, put it down, lift the other heel, put it down. If you can lift both heels, do that. If you've sunk, Navasana is also called boat pose. So if you've sunk your boat, ask yourself, why? Lift your spine tall, watch your neck, so I'm watching. Good, hold the backs of your thighs if you prefer. Hold your calves, you can extend up, you can draw your shoulders softly down, you can release your arms. There are more options than I can begin to list in this short class. Cross, draw in. Now keep those thighs in at your chest as you lift up. And then repeat it again. Remember your foundation. So think work foundationally from the foundation up. Move the energy up through the spine. Keep the core of the body strong. Keep the shoulders soft. Keep your breath present. Breathing in, breathing out. Why are you doing what you're doing? Cross, draw in, spark, and bring yourself back down. Now moving into Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose or cobbler's pose. Again, sit up on the blocks or blankets if you need, or simply lift your hips and draw them up and back. In Ashtanga, we take our thumbs to the balls of the feet and we roll our foot soles open. The elbows are in at the side body and your neck is in line with your spine. If this is as far forward as you go, this is perfect. If you go farther, that's perfect too. As long as you are aware of your foundation, why you're moving your body as you're moving it, and understand if somebody said, why are you doing that? You can actually answer why you're doing that to build strength. Rolling the feet open strengthens the feet, the ankles, and changes what's happening with the hips. Keep your breath. Now inhale, lengthen the spine, sit up nice and tall. And as you exhale, straighten your legs. Now if you're leaning back, again, either sit up on something or lift the hips, draw them back. Neck in line with the spine. Hands can be on shins. Knees are slightly, the slightest micro bend. You can stay here. You may go forward. You may hold your toes. The shoulders are open. The neck is long. The breath is present. Don't strive for flexibility without strength, because then the risk of injuries is so great. You want longevity in your practice. Now inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release. Bend the knees. You can stay right here. Remember, you don't want to round. You want long spine. You want to open and stabilize the shoulders. You can lift the heels if you like. You can lift the heels in line with the knees. You can hold the calves and begin to extend the legs. But if you're rounding back, really question why you've chosen that position. Good, breathing and release, spark. Now we're coming onto our back, so your option is to do a vinyasa and lie down, or simply lie yourself down. Once you're down on the mat, bend your knees, place your feet on the floor, take your hands under your head and reposition your neck so that you have the natural curve of your spine, room for about a finger between the floor and your neck. Good. Your left knee is bent, your left foot's on the floor, and your right leg is in the air. If your back does not hurt, you can straighten your left leg along the mat. If you can reach up and grab your right big toe with your right hand, keep that leg straight and have hip, knee, and heel in line, do that. Otherwise, you are going to lengthen your hamstring much faster by using a strap. The hip drops down, the chin drops down, torso lifts up. Don't let that hip swing up. I'm watching you. Drop it down. Do the work. Good breathing. Shoulders are even. Now bring the head and shoulders down and bend that right knee. It's like a half a happy baby. Roll the thigh across the chest, bringing the knee towards the floor. Stay there. Or you can begin to straighten that right leg. You want the weight to be even through both glutes, through both hips, and on both shoulders. This left palm can remain on the left thigh. You don't want that left glute rolling off the floor. Good, now bring it back to the center. Bring the torso up, drop the hip down, the right hip. Torso comes down. Either release the right leg straight down or bend the knee, put the foot on the floor. Left leg comes up. If the back doesn't hurt, straighten the right leg. Right palm on right thigh, chin down, lifting up, breathing. Drop that hip, use both feet, drop your shoulders. Torso comes down, hip moves in socket. You can stay in that half happy baby, or you can begin to straighten the left leg, dropping the hips, make sure they're even. Don't let this right glute dangle in the air. Keep it solid. Know why you're doing what you're doing. Notice the space between the hamstring and the floor. Good, bring the leg back. Drop that left hip. Torso comes up. You can always hold the back of the thigh if that's better for you. Torso down. Left leg comes down. Knees come into the chest. Rock it out. Now here you're moving into a back bend, so if you do have anything under your head, slide it out for the time being. Place your feet on the floor, your knees are bent, your heels are below your knees. Your hands are just out from the hips, palms down, chin tips slightly. Draw the belly towards the spine, lift the bottom, low back, mid back, upper back off the floor. Now roll your shoulders under. Squeeze your shoulder blades lightly like you're squeezing a small lemon. If your chin and chest touch, you've lightly flattened your neck. So you want to move the chin slightly away and lift the hips higher, finding that natural curve in your neck. Keep breathing. Squeeze the legs like you're holding a block. Use your glutes. Fire them up. If you overuse them, you'll feel your back. Now slowly lower down from the upper back to the mid back to the low back to the bottom, and pause. Let the knees rock a bit from side to side. Keep your breath and come back up again. If you need to leave it out, just simply bring your thighs in towards your chest. So belly to spine, bottom, low back, mid back, upper back, rolling those shoulders under. This is an intense back bend. Use your breathing, use your glutes, draw the shoulders out of your ears, press the knees forward, think knees above heels if possible. You feel your back, you might need your feet farther apart. Good, coming down again, pause, thighs to the chest, release it. If you can repeat it a third time, repeat it a third time. Understand why you're doing what you're doing. Understand what your foundation is and how you're using it. Keep your breathing. Lift the arches of your feet. Try not to overthrust the ribs. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Back bends open the front body. They are stimulating postures.
Good, breathe. Make sure you've got that natural curve of your neck. And very slowly lower all the way down. Bring the thighs into the chest and rock it out. If your back hurts, you can roll over to the side and sit up. Otherwise, come up however you like. Your option is you can move through a vinyasa, or you can spark and stretch the legs out, moving into Paschimottanasana, your full forward fold. And if your back bothers you, keep those knees bent. Truly know why you're doing what you're doing. Breath is strong, eyes are open, fully lengthening the body. Bring yourself all the way up. You can spark, or you can move through a vinyasa before we set up for the last 3 closing poses. Do the vinyasas because they benefit you, not because I'm saying the word vinyasa. Make sure the movement and the breath connect. As you come down to the closing postures, if you need to sit on the blocks or the blankets, do it. If you can sit lotus, it's right foot and then left. If lotus doesn't work within your body, you can sit half lotus, one leg in front of the other, or cross-legged. I always suggest alternating how you cross your legs if possible for your hips. You bring the arms behind your back, hold the elbows. Now squeeze the air out of the lower abdominals, curl forward, round. I'm actually telling you to round. Keep your eyes forward, keep your eyes open, fold the body forward. You can rest your head on a block if that gives you a little bit added foundation. Make sure your glutes are on the floor, that they're not dangling in the air. The chin lock might be engaged. You bring yourself back up, keep the Ujjayi breath. The eyes are open, the arms extend along the legs, thumb and index finger touch. Spine lengthen, chin drops, eyes are open. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Jalandhara Bandha engage. Breath is present. Now releasing to Utplutihi, which can be very challenging if you're not in lotus. The hands come down and you pull the body back and up. Using the blocks for your hands can be an added benefit, especially if you're not in full lotus or even half lotus. Remember, it's not a push up. It's a push up but a pull back. Chest is open. Shoulders are not squeezing together. Neck is in line with the spine. Lower yourself down. If you are closing with a final vinyasa, move through your vinyasa. Otherwise, bring yourself down onto your mat. Stretch yourself out. Take a deep breath in. Tighten everything up tight. And then exhale loudly and completely through your mouth. That heavy ha sound. Finding your way into Shavasana. Just letting the practice settle into the body. A full hour of pranayama work, breath work, clearing the mind. A full moving meditation. Let the body soften. The warmth of relaxation moves gently within. I encourage you to stay in Shavasana for as long as you need. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.